Well, hey, how's it going? Bill Sadler here, back in my kitchen. Good morning. Here's my, I'd get you a cup of coffee if I could. So, strange days continue. We're all still in lockdown, which has caused me to grow this strange thing on my face. So stories from the past. I get a lot of questions about the nude scene in Die Hard 2. So I thought I would explain that just a little bit. First of all, the first thing you should know is that there wasn't a nude scene in the original script when I read it back in 1989 when I first read it. It just seemed the scene was there, but it just said a half-dressed man in a hotel room doing Tai Chi, I think, or something, words to that effect. But and I didn't actually find out that it was going to be a nude scene until I got to the costume fitting. And believe it or not, I tried on all the other outfits that they wanted me to try on for Colonel Stewart. And we got to the end, and there was nothing else. They said, "Well, that's it." And I said, "What's he wearing in the hotel room?" And the director was there, and I think Marilyn Vance, the costume designer, was there. And Rennie Harlan, the director, he's from Finland. You should know. And he got kind of quiet, and he looked at me, and then he looked at Marilyn, and he said, "Well, Bill, actually I was hoping you would be nude." And and I thought about it for a couple minutes, and I said, if you push that scene off to the end of the film, and get me into a gym, get me a trainer, get me into a gym, then I'll do it. I probably should have held out. I probably could have gotten my agents to squeeze them for more money, but I didn't. I don't know what it was. My third picture or something at the time. I had no idea that was even a thing. So there I was they got me a trainer named Keith Cuba, and they worked the bejesus out of me. And I worked like a crazy man because, you'd be surprised how motivating it is to find out that you're going to be naked in what's likely to be the biggest summer blockbuster of the year. I had seen, of course, Die Hard, the first Die Hard, and was blown away by it like everybody else was. And I was just in awe of Alan Rickman. I was already just, may he rest in peace. What a brilliant actor, and what a great performance. I thought, these are some shoes to fill, man. I'm gonna. That was a sort of a separate issue than the nudity, but there was a fair amount of, oh my God, okay, no pressure here. You're going to follow Alan Rickman's performance as the villain, and you're going to be naked. But I thought it, and then of course, I worked my ass off, literally. I didn't want to. You'd be surprised how motivated you get when you know that your butt's going to be hanging out there in this big blockbuster. And I didn't want to watch it years down the road when I'm 60 or something, and say, you know, wish I'd, could have done a couple sit-ups or something, Bill, something. So anyway, come the day of the shoot, so they pushed it off, and we shot the movie. And at the very end of the film, we do the day arrives, and I'm in Gold's Gym in Santa Monica at 5:30 in the morning, or whatever time they open their doors that day, and I'm pumping like crazy with Keith. Go to the set, and the makeup guys put scars and tattoos and knife wounds, and they covered, all over me, and this like glycerin or something to look like sweat. And it's supposed to be a closed set, so there's not supposed to be anybody else, and it's just the essential people. If it's the film crew and the director. It's usually that's it. In a closed set, like script supervisor. And I got to the sound stage at Fox. I walked in, and this morning of the shoot, and there's a line of chairs across the front of the set, these directors' chairs, and there's Joel Silver. The producers are there, and the director's there, and friends and people I'd never seen before. And there are people bringing in, pizza delivery guys are showing up, and Teamsters are walking in and out. So, anyway, we shot it, and I've always thought, and it went swell. One little issue with it was that there was, in the set, if you'll notice, there's a mirror on the back wall of this hotel room where he's working out. There's like a big dresser mirror, so you can see me in the mirror. So if I'm facing the camera and it's full body, it's full frontal, and if I face away from the camera, that's most angles, you're also seeing me in the mirror, which made filming it a little tricky. Anyway, at the end of the day, I thought it was I thought it was effective. I thought it was a great way to introduce a character, an evil character into the movie, because it's shocking. You don't know who this guy is, and he's not just naked. He's having a fight with invisible people in the hotel room by himself. And he's clearly intense and vicious. And I thought, you don't know, as the audience, you don't know who this guy is yet, but whatever he's up to, it cannot be good, right? You don't want to mess with him, was the message, I think, that got delivered. And so it became this fun little, piece of Hollywood history. Anyway, there you go. Actually, Bill, I was thinking you would be nude. Sure, whatever. Well, there you have it. Another exciting episode of the Kitchen Tapes. Listen, if you have questions about any of the other movies, or Die Hard, or TV shows, if there are things that you're curious about or have questions about or comments about, write them down in the comments underneath, and I'm happy to, I'll take a whack at them. I'll answer as many as I can, because because this is kind of fun reminiscing. But it's more fun if it's a bit of a back and forth, you know, because I've heard these stories before. Anyway, please take care of each other and stay safe out there. And hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.